Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to form up a concrete walkway or concrete slab, whatever it is you're doing in your yard. When I was looking online, I couldn't find a video that answered every question that I had between what sizes were the stakes, what did I form it up with, what did I put under it, what do you lay it on. They spoke to you as if you've done concrete many times. I'm going to talk to you guys as if you have started completely green and you have no idea what you're doing. I'm on YouTube quite often, so if there's something I haven't answered in this video, let me know in the comments. I will try and do so. I like to keep my videos short, sweet, straight to the point, so let's get into it.
Something I noticed when I was watching videos online is they never really talked about what to put your concrete form onto. Our path has been here for years, so we have a really good base to start with, but a lot of the videos that I watched didn't talk about what you're putting your concrete on. Make sure that there's no loose soil or large rocks in the way. Everything should be tampered and flat. Put a 1/2 inch stone down. That is so that the water can run freely underneath the slab. I'm not really sure how much this matters in a small walkway. I know that the 1/2 inch gravel makes a massive difference when you're pouring a large concrete slab. Either way, we did it here.
Okay, so let's jump right back to the beginning on what it is you need to form up a concrete walkway. You have two main materials, and that is your stakes. Your stakes are actually what's put into the ground to form up the shape of your walkway, and then you're going to need your form board. So this is 1/4 inch plywood, also known as Meranti. It's super thin, so it's very flexible and can go around different curves and bends that you're going to be putting in your walkway. This is the stake that we bought, and this is the stake that we made. Very simple, just depends on how you want to go about it. I had a ton of scrap wood around. That is why I never get rid of scrap wood, and they made for great stakes. Just rip them down, put a little 45-degree miter cut on the base of them, and you're good to go.
To make the form boards, I cut 1/4 inch thick board at 4 inches wide. You can buy stakes, but it's also cheaper to make them, so it really depends on how you want to approach it. Driving stakes is easy. You just need a sledgehammer and to get them 6 to 8 inches in the ground. I put one every 8 to 10 inches roughly, but a few more near the turns.
So if you're wondering how to create your curve on your walkway, you're essentially going to put your C-clamp in the first position here, and then move this one sort of in and out. So it depends on how big you want the curve. If you want a small curve, you want a large curve. We're going to go with sort of the curve of the rock that's already there. Clamp that in place.
Start on the side of the inside corner first. The reason I do this is because if you did the outside corner, you might leave your width of your walkway a bit too narrow. So do the inside corner first. Mark out your entire one side of your form with your stakes before you lay out the other one.
And then I'm going to mark it or put a few more stakes in the ground to keep this curve as is. And then directly across from every stake here, I will measure like the 40 inches or 36 inches, but however wide I decide I'm going to make the walkway, and mark it. That way the curve will stay the same on this side as well, and you'll have a nice finish all the way along.
When your first side is laid out, then you can determine your width you want your walkway and measure off each stake and mark it. This part I found a bit more difficult because if you're off an inch, you can really see the wiggle in your 1/4 inch form board. You have two options. You can lay out all of your stakes first, or you can do your stakes and your form board together as you go. However you decide to do it, you need to level your form board as you pin it on your stakes. No ground is perfectly level, even if it appears that way, so do not go with the grade of the ground. You need to also use your level to make sure that both sides are level across your form. Don't worry if the form board is an inch or even 2 inches above the ground. This can absolutely be fixed. Sometimes people drop one side 1/2 inch if their walkway or slab is close to the house. That way water can wick off the slope direction. But my walkway is far enough away from the house that it really doesn't matter. Okay, so my form board sides were on, but over the long span, I could really see the wiggle of the 1/4 inch form boards. They're thin, they're flexible, but I could just see it like just enough.
My issue is that I've had a couple people with concrete experience say that the 1/4 inch is too light, which I agree with. So we decided to thicken it, but still, like, it's got a lot of flex to it since it's not like one substrate. So I'm going to actually be cutting 3/4 inch ply. Uh-oh, baby's crying. Be right back. You can kind of see, like, along here, I got the baby in my hands, so that is not fully straight. So I didn't want the concrete to finish that way. 3/4 inch will allow me to not have that happen. So did you know that you can actually bend wood?
I'm not really sure if you're going to be able to see that or not, but obviously there's a lot of flex in this. And if the board is not straight, your concrete would show that little divot there. It might be overkill. I'm not sure. It's my first time, so we'll see. But this is 3/4 inch board. Obviously it's a lot more true and a lot more straight, and there's no flex to it. So I decided to switch out, or I left Belly! So I decided to just reinforce the longer side where I could see the most wiggle with 3/4 inch board.
When I got to the curve, I used a solid piece of wood and made some relief cuts in the back. Relief cuts are cuts that go about 2/3 through the wood every 1/2 inch or so and allow the wood to flex and be bendable. I screwed it in from the outside. That way there wouldn't be any screw holes in the concrete once it's set. But the trick to getting it to flex is that I soaked it in warm water first. It allows the wood fibers to soak in the water and become flexible.
You absolutely don't have to do relief cuts and use 3/4 inch. I'm just showing you another way how to bend your wood if you're using a thicker form board and you're not quite sure how to get the curves. Use 1/4 inch and you'll be totally fine. Double it up if you feel like it's bendy the way mine was.
Your stakes are in the ground. Your form board is on and leveled. Now you can go around and fix any gaps around the bottom. If you haven't, this is when you will put 1/2 inch stone down and make a layer across the bottom. You can actually build up the stone where the gaps are on the inside. Your concrete won't be that watery if you've mixed it properly for it to leak out. Some water will come through, yes, but it's mostly compact and it will stay in. Another way to help this is by adding soil to the outside of the form. This will also help keep the concrete and rock inside until it sets. You'll see I have some rebar down on the inside of the form, and you can use what's called chairs. So that actually just holds the rebar up as you pour the concrete and you leave them in the cement. I think they're a total waste of money on small projects, so I just pulled the rebar up as I poured. But that's in the next video, which I will link below and I will link here as well. Thanks for watching. I hope I was able to explain it easy and simple enough. My next video is how to pour it, and why not go big or go home? We stamped it as well. It's linked here and below, so make sure you check out those videos. I'm actually pretty impressed with how they turned out. Have a great day, everyone.